Live from tape, pre-recorded at our studios in Austin, Texas and Portland, Oregon, it's Syndicated with Lesley and Ben. Hi everyone, I'm the Ben of that.
And I'm the Lesley. This is a monthly podcast about television, genre, and storytelling in which we watch an episode of a show and explore the history of television, one episode at a time.
Lesley, we're going to be talking about syndication as a concept today, and also, you just heard me do 2 bad takes of our intro.
Yeah.
Here's something that's never occurred to me. I could have recorded that intro once and reused it every time.
Yeah.
The live from tape part.
Yeah, you could. You could have if you wanted to, but...
Do people realize that's a joke also? You can't do live from tape.
Right. I hope so. I hope so.
I'm basically saying pre-recorded live.
Surely people get it, Ben.
Surely people do. Also, stop calling me Shirley.
Don't call me... That's what I was going to say.
Oh, besties.
Besties. Twinsies.
Folks, if you're just now joining us, we're talking about Star Trek: The Next Generation, the 7-season, 178-episode science fiction staple that aired in first-run syndication from 1987 to 1994. Star Trek: The Next Generation covers the adventures and missions of the USS Enterprise, a Federation exploratory and diplomatic starship captained by Jean Luc Picard, and staffed by a wide variety of humans and aliens from across the futuristic Federation. Stop me if you've heard this before, but together they boldly go where no one has gone before, solving diplomatic crises, encountering new life forms and new civilizations, and intervening when mad gods and extra-dimensional creatures interfere with reality.
The original Star Trek was created by Gene Roddenberry for NBC in 1966. Roddenberry got his start writing for West Point Story and other Western-themed TV shows, including Wrangler and Have Gun Will Travel. He initially tried to pitch Star Trek to executives as a wagon train western in space, borrowing the episodic nature of those shows to explore the frontier and the stars. The show was produced by Desilu Productions, operated by Desi Arnaz and Lucille Ball of I Love Lucy fame. Much like The Twilight Zone, Roddenberry's Star Trek covered key topical issues by having an integrated crew, depicting an interracial kiss on TV, and directly addressing racism, warmongering, and inequality. Star Trek has lasting cultural appeal kept afloat by Trekkies, a massive fan base of devotees to the shows famous for their conventions and fanfiction.
Really, writing this intro was a question of, so when do I bring up Trekkies?
Right.
Because, look, we're obviously going to have to talk about the cultural impact of Star Trek. Massive as it is. But, when specifically do I mention Trekkies?
Have you ever watched the documentary Trekkies?
No, actually, I don't think so. I've seen the documentary Captains, which is just interviews with the 5, at the time,
Whoa.
5 captains of...
Really?
I've
not even heard of that.
Oh, yeah, it's I'm blanking on some of their real names. But it's the actors who... It's the actors who play Kirk, Picard, Janeway,
right,
Sisko,
right.
and Archer.
Yeah.
So it was, therefore, I guess it was produced solidly after Enterprise ended. And I guess between those, but between that and this newer wave of Star Trek that started with Discovery.
Yeah.
It's just interviews about the show and about their various times as captains of the Enterprise or Deep Space Nine, I guess specifically, or the Voyager specifically.
Fascinating. Okay.
Yeah. And why am I I'm literally drawing a blank on who plays Janeway.
Oh, Kate Mulgrew.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. So Trekkies.
Devoted fans to say the least. I feel like I was realizing this as I was writing the script. The joke has turned into Comic-Con is the nerdy thing, right? Sure. A character in a sitcom might have a dorky secret and it's that they go to Comic-Con or something.
Sure.
For years, the joke was a Trek convention though, right? It wasn't Comic-Con, right?
I think it started with Trek conventions.
Yeah.
For sure.
Because that was the weirder thing, right? To find out a character on a sitcom was a Trekkie or went to a Trek convention or something.
Yeah.
I feel
absolutely.
It's turned into generically
Comic-Con.
parentheses, not even San Diego Comic-Con, but like Comic-Con parentheses generic. But like, I feel like the bit was Trek for the longest time, and that like the people who cosplayed and did that kind of stuff were all Trek enthusiasts.
Well, a lot of the times, though, they would thinly veil that they were referring to Trekkies by making it like for a fictional show, or like some like generic alien, but like somebody in like a uniform that looks very similar to like Star Trek. Like wink wink, like it's not Star Trek, it's totally Star Trek. So I think that I think you're right, though. There definitely for a time there was a direct connection between Trekkies and shame in sitcoms.
Yeah. I think let me try that again. I think Community has an episode in which there's like a fake Doctor Who convention, right?
Yep.
Yeah, no, but like, I can't point to like data points on a graph here, but in my mind, I'm seeing like, these like Trek adjacent fictional TV shows. Obviously, Galaxy Quest is making fun of that.
I was gonna bring up Galaxy Quest, which, by the way, oh my gosh, that movie's so good. I gotta put it in the movie jar. Hector and I have a movie jar. You know about movie jar.
I do, but our audience doesn't.
Okay, so Hector and I have a movie jar, and what we do is when we have a movie that we think about that we haven't seen in a while or that we want to see, we write it on a piece of paper, fold it up, and put it inside a glass jar. A mason jar, and then the intention was when we're bored and or couldn't think of anything to watch, you reach in the movie jar and then you watch some gem that you haven't thought about in a while. However, in execution, it has actually become its own plan. Like we'll revolve date nights around like, hey, want a dinner and then movie jar. Like it's become like, so it's failed successfully, I guess, because it's not like, because it's not we don't ever go to it when we can't think of anything. Like it has now become, it's like
it is. I see. It's not the backup, it's the primary.
It's the primary, yeah. But it's still awesome. Movie jar is still amazing.
That still sounds like a success to me, though.
That's what I said.
All right, fair enough. But good way to cut through the decision paralysis. God knows there are so many evenings where I have like watched the first 5 minutes of 3 movies and then gone, never mind, and just walked upstairs and done something else.
Yep.
And I don't like those evenings. I do not like when I like cannot get into something.
Yes,
after, like, 3 tries.
Stand it. I can't stand it either. It's super annoying because then you're just sitting there like, now what? Or worse, I have to do like I get the feeling of like, well, I ought to watch blank, which is not necessarily where my mood is. Like either because something's like leaving streaming soon, or it's like tonight's like the 50th anniversary of Jaws. I should watch Jaws, right? Like, something like that. Yeah. Anyway, back to Galaxy Quest, which is just a fantastic film that absolutely spoofs Star Trek. It's very obviously a world in which this is the Star Trek of that universe. So
totally.
Star Trek's impact on social culture has just really it's really indescribably huge, is basically the point that we're trying to make here.
Yeah, basically the point. But yeah, no, shout out to Trekkies. Shout out for them keeping it afloat. I love them and the 501st. The Star Wars. Yeah. The Star Wars equivalent of cosplayers who do the Imperial uniforms and the Rebel fighter pilot suits and stormtroopers and all that. Those two groups really just keep like a DIY fandom going. These people either stitch together their original series Enterprise costumes, or they hand mold their stormtrooper armor, and it's just it's pure enthusiasm, no store-bought, nonsense. Make your face green and show up as an Andorian for I'm so sorry, that's so rude. Andorians are blue.
Seriously, Ben, get it together.
The green ones are called
aliens.
That's right, Lesley. They're called aliens. What's Tendi from Lower Decks called? Oh my god. The space pirates. Tendi, Star Trek, help!
I can't help you here, Ben.
Orion!
There you go.
The Orions!
There you go. Got him. We got him in the end.
I'm a failure at Star Trek.
You know what? That's okay. That's
anyway, paint your face blue and show up as an Andorian. Why not? Live a little. No, truly shout out to Trekkies. My parents were afraid that I would become one growing up. Joke's on them.
You got into deeply, like, every kind of nerdy shit.
Yeah, joke's on them. I got worse. I think it's cool that this started off. I looked through Roddenberry's work history. It's a lot of Western material, and I think that's like really obvious when you like look at original series Star Trek of like, obviously the whole thing has that naval setup, right? It's, you know, the captain, the admirals, they are on a ship. Number one. Yeah. Number one. Obviously it's got the whole naval aspect, right? They're all officers, you know, petty officer, throw it in the brig, you know, kind of stuff. But like, you can see it. You can see the whole like, it's dealing with the frontiers. It's dealing with like other civilizations that you border up against. You know, there's some Western DNA in Star Trek.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
We're in this, you know, obviously the real American West was in no way uninhabited, but you know, there's a lot of showing up to a quote unquote uninhabited quarry, that they're filming on and then like encountering something that they don't understand, and our human conceptions of culture just don't mesh with theirs, and all that kind of stuff. You know, it's about the frontier. It's about, even if it's not about the West. Yeah. I mean, it's quite literally the final frontier.
The space.
Anyway, it's just cool to see the DNA of that in there.
Absolutely.
Star Trek The Next Generation is set nearly 100 years after the televised adventures of Captain Kirk, Mr. Spock, and Bones. A new generation of Star Trek means a refurbished Enterprise, the Model D, more advanced technology, and a human race that is far more integrated with the breadth of alien species represented by the United Federation of Planets. Also, because the show is set in the 90s, the Enterprise has carpeting to match. I love how 90s the ship is, by which I mean 80s and 90s. It's just the carpeting, the big, like, the parts of the walls that are like contrasting like blocks of color. It's
very comforting to look at.
All of their computer interfaces scream like 1991 to me. Those big, like curved, colorful pieces.
We're going to get there when we talk about why this is my staff pick.
Oh yeah, for sure. The show was produced by Paramount Domestic Television and aired on first run syndication. Roddenberry passed halfway through the series, leaving the show in the hands of producer Rick Berman, who would guide the franchise all the way through Star Trek Enterprise, which is one of my favorites, despite its quality.
Oh, I never watched it.
Oh, that's all right.
I can't comment on it because I never watched it.
It's Scott Bakula, though.
You're like, I wouldn't say you've been missing it, Bob.
No, you have not been missing it. Okay. And Scott Bakula's the captain, though.
Fair enough. Patrick Stewart plays USS Enterprise Captain Jean Luc Picard, a French-born officer who keeps a diplomatically cool head when captaining a ship. Picard quotes extensively from Shakespeare and other classics and is capable of navigating tense situations with Romulans, Cardassians, and his own crew with a cup of Earl Grey in his hands. Picard plays a smaller role in the specific episode, but Next Generation focuses on the ethical questions he works through as a captain of the Enterprise. Patrick Stewart is known for this, his extensive theater work, his voice acting, and his film roles, like in X-Men's Charles Xavier. His other starring TV roles include the Starz series Blunt Talk in 2015.
Saw a lot of ads for that. I thought it, okay. Well, anyway.
Okay, well, anyway.
Blunt Talk, he plays like a, I don't want to say Alex Jones, because that's wrong, but he is absolutely playing like a Sirius XM, like, radio talk show host, in which he's like, you know, I've identified the problems in this country, and it's, you know, kids are on their phones too much and people are afraid to tell the truth.
I see. I've never even heard of this, so because I think I've cut ads from my life. I don't have ads in my life anymore. So
I mean, this was 10 years ago.
Oh, fair enough. Okay, well, I still don't know about it. So
I think he has addiction issues or something. Like I literally don't know.
Okay,
here we go. Blunt Talk is an American television show. Oh, okay. Stars executive producer Seth MacFarlane. There's the problem. Reaching into the engine. Reaching into the engine like, found the issue here.
Yeah, well, I found it.
Blunt, surprise. Blunt's name comes from a minor character, Sir William Blunt, in Henry IV, Part 1 by William Shakespeare. Shocked to find that's the case in a Patrick Stewart project.
Right?
Brent Spiner is in this. That's fun.
Oh, that is fun.
So is Richard Lewis of Curb Your
I love
Enthusiasm
Richard
fame.
Lewis. I love Richard Lewis. Really? You think that his fame comes from Curb? Well, I'm older than you, so for me, it's Robin Hood Men in Tights.
No, for sure. He was on Curb for 10 seasons, though.
Yeah, but I never watched Curb.
Oh,
I know.
Okay.
I know.
I'll rephrase. He was on HBO's primary comedy show for 10 years straight.
I'm
Yes,
aware.
I think that's his
I'm
claim
aware.
to fame.
I'm aware.
But yes, you're right.
Okay.
He is in Men in Tights.
Fair enough.
Anyway, he's just like I think it's a little, I mean, okay. I think it's a little Bojacky in that it's just like, here's the story of a singular entertainer who has some problems. And the people who are in charge of like stapling his life together.
Yeah.
The show follows British newscaster Walter Blunt, who moves to Los Angeles with the intention of conquering American nightly cable news. His misguided decisions on and off air prove his ultimate ambitions will be difficult to achieve.
Wow.
And yeah, I think he might have an addiction problem or something. It's like,
Okay.
I mean, 2 seasons. I try to list people's TV credits, and it's kind of weird with Patrick Stewart, who is like mostly known for Professor X and doing Shakespeare theater.
In this. Yeah.
This is weirdly his like other TV role.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess you're right.
Other than like being Scrooge or I'm sure he's done like a made for TV movie or something here or there.
He was a good Scrooge, though.
Mm-hmm.
He's good at everything. He's
good at
Patrick
everything.
Stewart. He's Sir Patrick Stewart.
That being said, LeVar Burton plays Geordi LaForge, the chief engineering officer of the USS Enterprise. LaForge was born blind and uses a visor-shaped tool that helps him see the UV spectrum, as well as other types of sight and diagnostic tools that are inaccessible to people born with natural vision. Where Star Trek, the original series, tackles racism, Next Generation makes sure to include disabled crew members on board the Enterprise. You know LeVar Burton as the longtime host of Reading Rainbow and from playing Kunta Kinte on the miniseries Roots.
I love LeVar Burton.
I love
much.
LaForge. LaForge is my favorite character. Like
LaForge is my favorite character too. I love LeVar Burton. I love LeVar Burton so much that when I was in 4th grade during Black History Month, we were asked to do an essay
That's right.
on a black influential person, and I chose LeVar Burton, and I drew LeVar Burton like a photorealistic. I mean, obviously it was shit because I was in 4th grade, but
Oh yeah, I mean, I wasn't gonna.
But I did it, and I spent hours on it. I love LeVar Burton.
Me
Love him.
too. I look. I'm not blind, right? But I'm pretty severely visually impaired. In a sense, I there are things that I cannot. I don't drive because of my eyesight. I think I've made that clear. I'm holding my glasses microfiber cloth in my hands as I talk. I'll always be wiping. Anyway,
Yep.
I don't drive because of my vision. School was a bit of a problem for me here and there, just because like legitimately I cannot see the whiteboard. Nothing worse than a dry erase board marker against like a whiteboard, and it's just like a thin gray. And I'm like, I literally cannot read the math on the board, man. Like,
Oh yeah.
this needs to be way higher contrast. Shout out to the anyway. Like, I like that there's a blind crew member. That's it. That's all I'm getting at. Like, obviously, my situation is not there, but it's nice to see like, hey, the future has like different types of prosthetics and different types of like. I'll wear a visor if it means that I can like see with the clarity that I would like to.
Can I discuss the visor?
The visor's so iconic. It rules.
The visor is so iconic, and they made it out of a head, like a lady's headband, like a hair accessory. Yeah, and I'm obsessed with it. I love it. I love this show. Okay,
Oh, it's awesome. I did not realize LeVar Burton was doing Reading Rainbow before Next Gen. For some reason, I don't know why. I thought like, oh, Reading Rainbow is what. I mean, it's because I was a kid and I didn't know.
Right.
But like, I thought, oh, Reading Rainbow must be what he did alongside and after Next Generation. No, it predates Next Gen by like 4 years.
Sure does.
Yeah, no clue.
Well, hello. I love learning new things, especially about LeVar Burton.
Could not agree more.
Brent Spiner plays Lieutenant Commander Data, the ship's android officer. Commander Data was created by a robotics and artificial intelligence pioneer, also played by Brent Spiner, who built Data to be a fully functional life form powered by his positronic netbrain. Data is next generation Spock. Data was programmed without emotions, and that contrasts him with the more human and feeling crew. Unlike Spock, Data wants to be more human throughout the show. Star Trek is Spiner's primary television work, but he also has a theater background and has been on shows like Warehouse 13. Let's also not forget his iconic role in my annual watch Independence Day, in which he plays the Doctor in Area 51, and it's beautiful.
I genuinely, honest to God, I thought you were going to say Master of Disguise.
No!
Because he's the villain in that.
I didn't see that, but I'm talking about Independence Day. It was beautiful and wonderful, and Brent Spiner's amazing. And you know, I went on about LeVar Burton. I could do the same for Brent Spiner. I love him. I love him. I love him. I love him. I had a crush on most of the actors and / characters in this show. We'll get there. We'll get there when we talk about, so cut that out because I want to talk about that later. But
a podcast can be two bisexuals. Happy Pride.
Yep.
I, of course, know him also for Sunday in the Park with George. He's a Sondheim actor as well. He is, I believe, or he's the, I know what songs he's in. I'm just blanking on his character name. I think his name is Franz in that. He's like the coachman or something.
I don't know.
Anyway, it's nuts. Also, that came out several years before Next Generation too. So you can see a very young makeup-less. Well, he's wearing stage makeup, but he's obviously not yellow.
Right.
Brent Spiner in that.
I would say muted gold.
Muted gold?
I would say he
enough.
has a patina.
Very much so. It is between shades.
Yeah.
I say that he is the Next Generation's Spock, and I do believe that, but they definitely took the emotionless part and gave it to Data, and the like Xeno alien aspect and gave that to Worf.
Yeah, that's true. They kind of split him up.
Worf has the culture clashes with the Enterprise, where he's like, no,
correct.
Klingon culture, we do it like this kind of stuff. Whereas Data definitely has the, tell me again, what is happiness? Sort of aspect.
Right. And Worf, by the way, played by Michael Dunn, I think. What is his name?
Next paragraph, my friend. Diana Muldaur plays Dr. Catherine Pulaski, a one-season guest character who is a touch skeptical of Data's sentience. That'll come up later in this episode. Gates McFadden plays Dr. Beverly Crusher, the ship's normal chief medical officer, who is not featured in this episode. Jonathan Frakes is Commander Riker, Marina Sirtis' Counselor Troi, and Michael Dorn's Klingon Lieutenant Commander Worf each appear in a handful of scenes in this episode, although they are not really featured. They're just kind of there on a little conference table scene at one point.
Yeah, it's true. Well, except for Worf, who does weirdly dress up, and then we don't see him again.
Worf has a full alternate costume that is not... I'd buy an action figure of that Worf, by the way.
Oh, God, it was so good. And then he's like, okay, bye. And, like, we don't see him again.
I'm here if you need me, Captain. Spoilers, they don't need him.
Oh, boy. This show was part of a second wave of Star Trek media after the original series and ran alongside Deep Space Nine and Star Trek Voyager. Now, the Star Trek franchise seems to be winding down another wave that started with Star Trek Discovery and included the sequel series to this show, Star Trek Picard. Picard featured a reunion of many of the principal and guest characters of Next Generation.
And I can't watch it because I know it'll make me cry. In season 2
I want to watch
episode...
it real bad. Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was just going to say I want to watch it, that's all.
I do too. But also, I know if I watch, like, all my 90s friends looking old, I'm going to get really sad about it.
Especially Data, which I kind of want to see how they explain that.
Do you know the premise? I watched the first 2 episodes, and then I didn't continue.
No.
It's very Data-centric.
He's my second favorite character after LaForge.
Which,
by the way, I love Data and LaForge together, which is one of the... We'll get there. We'll get there.
I won't tell you the premise of Picard, mostly because I am worried I'll misremember it.
Okay.
It's very Data-centric. Also, everybody comes back.
Whoa. I heard... I do know that. I did read that.
Do you want... I know you're a little spoiler adverse.
I am.
Do you want a minor spoiler? It's a guest star spoiler.
Okay.
Not only does Q come back, Moriarty from this episode comes back. They show...
On Picard?
On Picard.
When they're like... the front door!
In this episode where they're like, maybe someday we'll be able to help you.
Yeah. Oh, okay, okay. Well, so we'll talk about this later. So
I haven't seen the episode. I don't know what they do.
No. We'll cut it later. But he does appear. He does appear later in TNG as well in another episode. Yeah. Anyway. But let's not. We'll talk about it.
Again, I haven't actually seen it. I don't know what happens, so it's not even really a spoiler. I'm just letting you know they wrap up that storyline.
Okay. Well, we'll talk about that in a bit.
Yeah, for sure. Played by Daniel Davis, who is the butler, by the way, from
Yep.
The Nanny.
Yes, he was for a very, very long time.
Oh, that's right. There's also a joke cameo about it in Lower Decks. Yeah. There's a follow-up in Picard, which is an incentive for us to watch Picard.
I tell you what. Yeah.
In Season 2, Episode 3's Elementary, My Dear Data, the USS Enterprise arrives at its destination days ahead of schedule, leaving Lieutenant Commander Data and Lieutenant Geordi LaForge with time to kill. The two role-play as Sherlock Holmes and Dr. Watson inside the holodeck, a futuristic chamber on board the Enterprise that can create illusionary settings that the Enterprise crew members used for games. When the mysteries the computer samples are too easy for Data, Geordi commands the computer to create an opponent capable of defeating his android crewmate. What the Enterprise manufactures proves to be perilous to the whole ship.
Yeah. So
Lesley,
let's talk about it.
This is both your staff pick and obviously your staff episode. Obviously, Star Trek: The Next Generation means a world and a half to me as well. Let's talk about Next Gen, but also why this episode, my friend.
Oh man. Well, okay. So I chose this episode completely at random because first things first, I watched Star Trek: The Next Generation when I was growing up, when it was on, as like it's a huge formative experience for me. But I don't really remember like episode titles or like which episode this happened on or whatever. So I chose this one completely at random because of the fact that I love Sherlock Holmes as well. So this one, I have so much to say about this one, and I didn't even realize that when I picked it. So there's, like I picked it solely because I love Sherlock Holmes and I love Star Trek: The Next Generation. It was very formative for me growing up, and I thought the marriage of the two would be a nice episode to talk about. And I was right, but not for the reasons I thought.
This is a shockingly topical episode.
Yeah.
But I guess that's kind of the point of Star Trek, is that it's all topical. It remains topical.
But the thing is, wow, is it topical now?
This is like this year topical is the thing.
Right. This is like right now topical.
This year, 2026, topical, because we are obviously in the middle of the AI craze.
Oh my God.
Now.
Yes. Yeah, I hope it pops.
If that didn't come through on the mic, folks, I made a
little bubble popping sound.
All the questions that are brought up in this episode, including Data, that's not his name, Data,
nope,
sentient? And also the whole nature of the Enterprise is holodecks and the holograms and like, can you bestow sentience onto a... I want to be clear. I don't think Claude has a brain. I don't think it's like...
No.
Sentient or real or even remotely approaching anything that's depicted in this episode.
No, not
but
at all.
But its salespeople absolutely do think that.
Well, and there are people who are becoming... Actually, people who are kind of becoming addicted to Chat GPT and like thinking that this is their friend and like... Yeah. Doing things that they wouldn't normally do. It's really sad, actually.
No, it's devastating.
So this episode brought up some things that are so prescient to right now that I didn't realize I had no idea because I didn't remember. The only thing I remembered about this episode was they go into the holodeck and they play Sherlock Holmes, and I was like, that'll be fun because I love LaForge and Data together. I mentioned that earlier. I love them. That always entertains me. I love Sherlock Holmes. I love holodeck episodes. I figured it was a slam dunk. And I was right. But the AI thing, I didn't think about. And I also did not realize that the episode I picked is actually an iconic episode. Because of Moriarty's presence. This is the first of what I'm now told is 3 installations of this character, Moriarty. It's fascinating to me.
There are 2 kind of thematic questions in this episode. I almost said ethical questions, but I'm kind of, sort of.
Yeah.
1, is Data sentient. But like, is Data like capable of like, the character of Dr. Pulaski makes some assertions about how Data's mind works that are possibly true at the time of this episode, but are like maybe not borne out by the rest of the series.
Yeah.
And then also, can a fictional construct like Moriarty be given the same personhood, I guess, that they assign to Data?
Right. Like, what's the difference between Moriarty and Data?
And the answer, kind of, is that Moriarty just doesn't have a mass.
Yeah.
Is that he has the same types of, like, I mean, I guess he feels in a way that Data doesn't, because he definitely has, like, regrets, and in his short time that he's there, he has, like, regrets and, like, longing and obviously curiosity. You know, he wants to know more about the Enterprise. He's clearly smitten with Dr. Pulaski. You know, he's like, well, I detest, what does he say? I detest long goodbyes. Just get it done with. You know, like, that's a very, you can't have an emotionless moment where you're like, oh, just get it done with, you know. I don't want to live if I don't know what the world is like outside this very, you know, these are heavy emotions. But like, the key difference between the two of them is just that he doesn't have a physical form, that he doesn't have a android personage that like walks around the ship and interacts with other people.
Right. Ugh. I love this episode. I had no idea how good this choice was when I made it. It's because I love Sherlock Holmes. I love these two together. I love Star Trek: The Next Generation. I chose the show. Obviously, like I said, it would just be on as when I was a child, and I think that this is probably the show that cemented in my mind the fact that I was queer. It's not like because everybody was pretty. Everybody I wanted to look at. I had crushes on everybody on the show, more or less, and I do mean absolutely everybody. And so.
No, I understand. This is Lesley,
so
you got ordained and I'm here singing. Like, you're preaching to the choir.
Yeah, exactly. So so that's why I chose it. Yeah.
It's a good one.
It's awesome. Yeah. So God, it's so good.
Big heady questions in this. Obviously a lot of like iconic character comedy. This is a real season 2 episode that you need to have like established these characters to get their like contrast. Like,
yeah.
It's funny. So I watched this episode on a Wednesday night. Listener, that doesn't mean shit to you. Who is going to hear this in like 2 weeks, divorced from that reality.
Right.
But I watched this episode on like Wednesday night. And my partner came over and I was like, yeah, you're welcome to come over. I do have to watch an episode of Star Trek. I have to. They were like, oh, that's fine. I've never seen an episode of Star Trek. And I really had a moment of, okay, so this isn't normally what the show is about.
Right. Like, so this is a bit of a departure.
But like, how cool is it that they're just like, after the first season, they're already comfortable doing like, I don't mean to be, I mean, again, like I said, there's real ethical questions in this one, but like, that they're already cool with, let's do a silly one.
Right. Because at the end of the day, it is a little bit silly that they're, like they're dressing up in these costumes and then like we see Picard in a top hat. Like it's, there is a touch of silliness to it. And also this episode is more centric with like character interactions and character interpersonal relationships.
Very much so. Yeah. This is a crew that has spent a long time with each other. Obviously Geordi and Data are friends. Picard isn't like mad at Geordi for having circumvented the power supply. He's just like, let's fix it.
They're all like, let's figure it out. Let's fix it. They're a team. They're a crew. I love them so much. Oh, I love this show. But yeah, I think that it's just so good that it does explore those interpersonal relationships in a way that like in season 2, a lot of shows haven't gotten there yet. So I think and also this is episode 3. This is one of the first ones.
Early. Yeah.
So we've only seen season 1 and like 2 episodes of this one. And then here we are with these personalities showing themselves. And I think that's beautiful.
What I like about Star Trek, and this just occurred to me as I said, like Picard doesn't get mad at LaForge for accidentally prompting. That's the other thing, by the way, that makes it topical, is the way he talks to the computer is how people talk to these, like, generation chatbots.
Yeah, yeah.
That when he says, like, computer, make a mystery that even Data can't solve, set in Victorian London using these certain, like, that's how people talk to, like...
It's prompts. He's giving it prompts.
Make me an image that's, what if Studio Ghibli was hornier? Or
right.
whatever they're doing these days. That's more or less what they're doing with the technology.
1000%.
It's okay. We need to destroy the environment to make horny Ghibli cartoons.
God damn.
It makes me so mad.
I can't stand it. I can't stand it.
Anyway, rewinding a little bit from the prompt part. What I like about Star Trek overall is that there is an aversion to violence throughout. That obviously there are plenty of episodes where they are firing proton torpedoes at Cardassian warships and birds of prey, and there's plenty in every single season of that. There's the whole 9/11 allegory that happens in Enterprise. There's which, Lesley, if you didn't know what Enterprise was about, there's a 9/11 allegory.
There you go.
You know, it happens in this show with the Cardassians and the Romulans. It happens in the original series with some Klingon scuffles, but it is not ever their first move to start launching proton torpedoes. In fact, I would say that when they are flying around and doing those kind of fights, a line that every captain says a lot is evasive maneuvers. This show handles conflict so interestingly to me, where there is, like, very frequently, you know, unless the point is that they're not, there are sincere attempts to understand other cultures, other people, to, like, work diplomatically to find, like, mutually beneficial solutions, to, like, not react in anger at each other, to exist in a as frequently mentioned, like, post-scarcity, post-money society that everyone seems to benefit from except the fucking Ferengi. But you know what I mean? Like, there's real efforts to avoid violence and avoid politics that are entirely, like, domination based.
Right.
Unless your politics happen to be representative of a group called the Dominion, in which case, domination is just the only move they have.
Right. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Do I have the Dominion plot right? I don't remember. I've only seen a couple episodes of Deep Space Nine.
Me too. I haven't seen it. I've seen, I would say, a handful. More than a couple, but less than a lot.
And I think that's admirable, obviously. You and I live in the heart of the American Empire. Especially this year, we have been starting some conflicts with some countries that don't deserve it, and we don't have any business being involved in.
Right.
Fucking January 2nd, we attacked Venezuela out of nowhere. We're currently threatening Cuba.
Disgusting.
The very brief Iran war has now blown out of proportion.
Yeah. That's
not unique to this year. The entire millennia has been defined by wars that we shouldn't have started. And it's beautiful to look forward into a future in which the hairiest fights are civilly at a conference table. Like, maybe war isn't the answer. It's just a fun thought I like thinking about.
I concur. I think it's fantastic.
Yeah, I think that's beautiful. And also, like capitalism and all that, and just, like, imagining a world in which, like, your worth is not tied to your labor. I mean, obviously this show is filled with incredible engineers and scientists and diplomats and all sorts of
smart people,
but, you know, that, like, you don't have to toil 40 hours a week because you have to toil 40 hours a week because you'll die otherwise.
Right.
What's the Tumblrism that gets tossed around from time to time? Gay luxury space communism.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, it imagines a world in which all of our priorities, you know, violence, capital, etc., are just, they take a back seat to cooperation and meeting the needs of people wherever they are in the galaxy or however shaped they are.
Yeah, and I think also it's important to note that sci-fi as a genre, we talked about this in the Twilight Zone episode, well, it's going to come up probably every episode, that it is like that commentary on like societal issues, and that it is kind of a way to examine those and question those and ask if there's a better way for us to live other than, the warmongering and the capitalism killing our souls and all that stuff. It's, it's common. It is all commentary on our social standing and how we function as a society. When you go into, the sci-fi space and you see how they can imagine a different society, a different reality, and how that would work. And this episode, but just like any other, is absolutely a commentary on that kind of stuff. But this time it's asking about, like I said, like relevant today AI and what, sentience and what makes a thing sentient, how useful is the wrong word, I guess, how important, I guess, the AI is. Do we need it? Is it necessary? Is it going to, does it have the potential to turn against us, kind of thing? Which I don't think it does, obviously. But again, this is like the 24th century, so they've done a lot of scientific stuff that to facilitate this ability to have a sentient being, which was a whoopsie on Geordi's part. He was like, so I may have accidentally said that I needed something that could defeat Data, and that turned into a sentient AI being inside the holodeck.
Yeah, it's funny that I think there's a line in this where he says something to the effect of like, Captain, I'm sorry I caused so much trouble just because I misspoke one word. That he says like to defeat Data and not to defeat Holmes.
Yeah.
And therefore the computer designs a Moriarty that is not capable of defeating the fictional character Sherlock Holmes, as every Moriarty can, but one that is capable, that basically has the same brain function and cunningness to defeat the world's smartest android.
Right.
I think it's really funny that he says, oh, good.
I was just going to say it's a bit of a monkey's paw moment.
Oh, very much so.
Yeah.
It's very funny that he says, I'm sorry I caused that problem by misspeaking, whereas now it would do that anyway.
Yeah.
No matter how specific you were, it would still create the murder simulator or whatever.
1000%. It absolutely would.
It is not that Geordi was not specific enough now. It would just be like, got it. Here's the mastermind you wanted.
Right. And then he takes control of the ship.
Control of the ship. I think it's so cool that he has a inside the holodeck like steam engine that he uses too.
Yes.
With the big like railroad like track shifter kind of handle. Yeah.
It was pretty cool. And I also think it's awesome that I picked an episode that has a character that apparently is a feature, is like a part of the Enterprise now and comes back twice apparently. I knew about the first one because it's later in the series. It's later in the Next Generation, but he also comes back in Picard, which I just found out. And so hey, Moriarty as a character, love it. I'm obsessed.
Real quick, I don't want to hype this up too much. I hear Picard also has some real problems as a television show. So like, oh, okay. But like, so don't get too excited, but
Got it. Okay.
It's still nostalgia bait for Lesley Yates and Ben Hamlin is the problem.
Okay. It's got some warts, but I'll take it.
This is a giant piece of cheese sitting underneath a cardboard box that's propped up by one stick. And you and I just kind of keep eyeballing it. And we're like, I could.
I want that piece of cheese, though.
I really do want that piece of cheese. I'm going to ignore the cardboard box that's hovering right above it, but I really want that cheese.
Am I going to have to get touch the stick? I don't care. I want the cheese.
You don't have to touch the stick. By the way, if you see a painting of what looks like a highway on the side of a rock wall, I wouldn't run headfirst into that. I'd just throw that out. Sure. Maybe just touch the hole first, just to see if it's real or not.
Sure.
Oh, so there's a gap, right? There's a technological gap in this episode. In that, obviously, we are in the 21st century. We are in the pitiful, sad year of 2026, and they are in the cool future year of a different year.
The 24th century, in fact.
It's the 24th century, yeah. I just couldn't remember. Yeah. I think it's like 2380 or something like that.
I don't remember exactly. Well, I mean, it doesn't help that the star dates are like a made up system that I'm not enough of a Trekkie to decipher.
Neither am I.
So
But so there's a bit of a technological gap. Obviously, our current computer systems are nowhere near the Enterprise's, nowhere near this Moriarty character, and nowhere near Lieutenant Commander Data.
right.
I would be pro personhood for Data in a way that I am not for what's being manufactured now.
Yeah.
Because what's now is like literally just it's a probability engine. It's like there's no thinking happening.
Right.
I resent a little bit that like Data is held up, and plenty of like robotic characters are held up as like, but we can get here. It's like, right, but in the meantime, you're putting millions of people out of work. So I don't care if we can get there. Right now is what matters for all of us, but like literally within our lifetimes and whatnot.
Yeah.
Similarly, I think that there's like a lot of sci-fi issues in which there's like a rocky road in the middle bit, between us and then. Like in order for us to adapt that kind of technology, we have to go through a real rough patch first. Either because it puts millions of people out of work or because it's, like to get to a solar punk world, we kind of have to have experienced a societal collapse. You know what I mean?
And Ben, that's the part that we're in right now.
Oh, fuck. All right. Well, let's
that's the part. I guess. Yep. That's the part we're in right now. So
like, anyway, but that's what I mean. Like, I'd be okay with plenty of Lieutenant Commander Datas walking around.
Right.
But that skips over the 250 years in the middle in which we are getting like proto Lieutenant Commander Datas.
Yeah.
And OpenAI version 10.10, and Skynet and
sure. Like at what point are they going to say, because they're going to do this eventually, at what point are they going to say, okay, we're going to take Claude and put it inside of a humanoid robot?
Mm-hmm.
Like that is a logical step.
Yeah. And not even like far off, because like, God, I hate to invoke him, but like, Musk has been parading around that like Optimus robot. And we
already have the dogs, Boston Dynamics, I think they're called.
Yeah.
The robot dogs. And like, so it's coming, and it's right now. Of course, I'm sure that you saw like the viral video of the guy, the robot that was dancing to Michael Jackson that fell down and had to be picked up. So, but here's the thing: we're laughing at that now, but this time 1 year ago, we were laughing at AI videos that were super bad, that could never fool anybody, that had like, tentacles for fingers because it couldn't figure things out and how weird it looked. And now it's perfect. So, okay, like we can laugh at the robot right now, but in a few years.
I mean, yeah, that's the other, there's a rocky road in the middle part is like, whoa, in the future we could have holodecks. Right now that technology is destabilizing how we get information.
Correct.
Like, I would love to live in the cool future where I step into a room and I'm like, computer, make me Robin Hood, as happens in a different Star Trek episode.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, computer misinform people about how the democratic process works is the actual computer
bad.
Scapegoat a minority for me is the current prompt, unfortunately. And that's what I mean. Like all of these kind of like far-flung technologies. Cell phones, maybe less so. Obviously, that's a common observation that Star Trek with its communicator devices inspired people to make cell phones. That maybe less so, but these big ones like non-human intelligence and spacefaring and hologram computer generated, all that kind of stuff. Not to really sound like an old man when I say that. Hologram computer generated, all sorts of that kind of stuff. Have these awkward like middle growth periods, middle patches, rocky roads in the middle. Like even like space colonization, obviously, you can look at these like what's the station they visit in the first episode? It's like Encounter at Farpoint. Is it called Farpoint?
Oh gosh, I wish you wouldn't have asked. Hold on.
Or even like Deep Space Nine, the satellite, the space station. These utopic, beautiful, futuristic cities. And you just think like, man, between now and then, we're going to have a lot of people dying on Mars because they like interrupted the supply lines and space colonists. Like there's to get to Utopia is a lot of hard work.
Yeah.
And to get to these advanced technologies involves a lot of times where the technologies are underregulated or broken or maliciously used, and there's disaster between now and then. This is really starting to sound like a bummer, but I still think like it's important to hold on to this like optimistic vision of the future in which like we've solved those.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. That's a really good point. Like we get to the point where we don't have these problems anymore. We don't have capitalism anymore. We don't have violent conflict as the first response anymore. But to get like you said, to get there, not very fun.
And maybe we'll get to the point where we can build space stations around Vega that nobody died to build.
Maybe.
You know, that's the optimism also of that one Doctor Who episode where he's like, this time nobody dies.
Oh,
like, just like, what if it goes right?
Just this once. Yeah.
Yeah. But I think that's also one of the point of Star Trek. One of the points of Star Trek is that like, it's a continual process. They have to keep working toward it. They don't just get Utopia and coast. They don't just get to Utopia and coast from there. They get to Utopia and they have to keep pushing for it.
Correct. It's hard work. It's like any relationship.
Yeah. By inducting, new aliens and working with them and developing new types of technology. We talked about Geordi earlier, like in the movies, he's got like he doesn't have to wear the visor. He's got like eyes.
Yeah.
Mostly so LeVar Burton could wear contact lenses instead of have an opaque shield in front of his eyeballs.
Yeah.
God, that poor man. We talked about how cool the visor is, but like that's a very vision limiting device.
Yeah.
For the real person who has to wear it. That we are constantly evolving even when we consider ourselves evolved.
Yeah.
I think that's neat.
I just think it's neat.
But unfortunately, that kind of puts me in Dr. Pulaski's boots right now, where I'm like, that thing can't think. Stop telling me that thing can think.
Yeah. Which again, like that was, bringing up what is Data? Is Data more sophisticated? Is he better than AI? What is he? Like can he think for himself? That was the question that was brought up in this episode. And it's dicey to consider that perhaps he can't think. What is he exactly? And what is Data exactly is a point in a lot of the episodes. And like at one point he owns a cat. And he writes a little poem. Yeah, he writes a little poem to like ode to Spot. So like, what is Data? What is he capable of? How do we feel about him? How does he have friends? But he does. So,
he definitely has friends. Before he ever develops emotions, by which I mean he gets an emotion chip implanted in him in Star Trek. Oh boy. Okay.
One of them.
In Star Trek. No, I got this. Nemesis?
Okay. Is it Nemesis?
Nemesis is the 2003 one that sucks.
Okay.
Where like Tom Hardy is the villain. He plays like a Picard clone. It's not a good one. It's the four next gen ones are Insurrection, which I've actually not seen, Generations, Nemesis, and First Contact.
Ah.
I want to say it's in Insurrections.
I don't think it's
Nemesis.
in. I think because I remember watching it though, so I'm trying to remember exactly when he got that implanted because I know I watched it. I don't know. Anyway, he does at some point. He does eventually get an emotion chip, which on its own, like that does elevate him to the status of okay, we care about this now. It's not just a clanker. Like it's like an actual not a human being, but pretty close.
Oh sure. I mean, I was going to make the point that he has friends well before that.
Right. Exactly.
That he's capable of forming friendships and having like a full role within the ship and everything well before he's able to feel like sadness or fear or happiness or anything.
Right.
And he has a pet and he writes poetry and he raises a kid and he has sex and like all sorts. He's fully functional.
That he is.
That he is able to encounter all of these things that are obviously not just true for humans in this world, but are true for all sorts of sentient and sapient life across the galaxy in Star Trek.
Right. Yeah.
But obviously just doesn't experience, quote unquote, joy while doing it. But he still likes hanging out with Geordi.
Yeah.
I think that's neat.
Yeah, I love it.
Because that's the real argument in this episode that Pulaski makes is like, is Data figuring out these mysteries? Is he solving these mysteries, or is he just remembering the database of Sherlock Holmes endings that's in his brain because he can access Star Trek's equivalent of the internet?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Like, which is it? Is he capable of doing this is he capable of deducing on his own? That's where it all started.
Yeah. Or is he just reading like the video game guide?
That's where it all started.
In real time, I guess.
I do find it interesting that in this episode, while Moriarty has Pulaski captive, she behaves as though she doesn't know what he's talking about. She behaves as though, like she's playing the game fully method acting. And I found that interesting.
Yeah. She doesn't reveal anything about the Enterprise. She's just like, Picard, who's that? I'm not sure I know what you mean. I'm just a Victorian lady.
Give me more crumpets. I don't know. I don't know. It was weird, but I liked it. I mean, this episode's great. I mean, I'm sure there are some bad ones. Obviously, it ran for over 100 episodes. They can't all be bangers. This one was a banger. This was great. Although, once again, like you said, to your point, it definitely does deviate from the normal cadence of what a Star Trek The Next Generation episode is, for sure.
I mean, I was explaining to my partner, I'm like, normally they're kind of in a permanent Cold War against other alien powers. And there's like a lot of like, we have a message from the Admiral. You have to meet the delegation at Ceres in order to circumvent the Romulans from getting there first kind of stuff. And that this episode is just like, let's play pretend for a half hour.
Right, exactly. Like, let's play Barbies, but in the holodeck for half an hour. So I think that I want to talk about, you mentioned earlier the design of the ship, and you were talking about
let's do it.
The 90s-ness of it all. And that is absolutely one of the draws for me to watch the show that makes it so comfortable for me, because like the 90s aesthetic is something that I personally love looking at, thinking about.
Me too.
I'm in more than one 90s design subreddits. Like because that's what I grew up with. That's what, when I was a kid, that's just what stuff looked like. And it's just so comforting to me to see the design choices. And like when it didn't happen in this episode, but when Picard goes to the little food processor thing and is like Earl Grey hot, and it just like produces this like clear glass mug to give to him. It's just all so 90s, and it reminded me of like the mugs that I had for my Barbie dolls, actually. Except they were pink, iridescent, pink and see-through. But yeah, it's just a great design choice that just keeps on giving.
Yeah, so, the big color blocks that are throughout like their uniforms, other alien civilizations. Obviously, their whole computer screens involve these like kind of like weird curved buttons of like orange, blue, and yellow. Like the Star Trek Next Generation, like computer design is very visually iconic.
Troy's uniform.
I might have cut it out of the episode. Maybe it's in there still. I can't think of a reason I would have cut it. But do you remember when you and Smitty made fun of me because I was looking at a lot of 90s embassy suites lobbies for a writing project, and you're like, what are you talking about? I'm like, I was looking at a lot. I don't know how to make that more clear.
Yeah, I do remember that.
Like, obviously, I love that kind of like 80s, 90s, and like early 2000s kind of.
So good. And there are different, and of course, there are different styles. Of course. There's like, Fruitiger Aero, what is it called? Aero Fruitiger or whatever. With the sky looking, it's very bubbly. Kind of early internet sort of thing, and then there's, of course, the Global Village Coffee House, which I think this kind of leads into a little bit, but is cleaner than Global Village Coffee House. But the color schemes, I think, are very 90s.
And my God, the carpeting.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of Scholastic Utopian, which is a genre that includes like eyewitness books and like Rainforest Cafe. A very
absolutely
1995 to 2005, like get kids to learn about the rainforest and other cultures and stuff kind of push.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of that. Obviously, I've sent you that 3-hour YouTube video that's all like music from The Lion King, Rainforest Cafe, and Epcot.
I watch those all. I say
Epcot's
watch, but
part
I
of
listen to those all the time. You know, while I'm working, it's my work comfort music. So,
and this is just overall a vision of like a certain type of like 90s optimism that like maybe through. I mean, not to say we didn't have conflict in the 90s. Obviously, we had the Bosnian Serbian War and Operation Desert Storm and all that, but like.
Well, I think that as it wasn't part of the zeitgeist though. Like we didn't have the internet really yet, and so like we didn't have it pushed at us all the time.
Yeah.
You know, it was on the news. Like we got our news at one point in the day, and that was it. And then we went about our lives. Totally. And it wasn't like a constant influx of videos that show exactly what's happening in Bosnia right now. Like that kind of thing didn't exist, and so that's why we were more optimistic then. Because, like, we would watch the news at night, and it would tell us what's happening, kind of, and we'd be like, okay, well, that's what it is. Now I got to start thinking more about tomorrow, and I got to take the kids to school in the morning, so so it was very, we were really, really, really caught up in our own lives, and not world issues at the time.
Totally. And it lends it, what I'm getting at just is that it lends itself to a certain type of, like, optimism of, like, maybe things can get better. Through at the time what very much felt like global cooperation and other factors, just maybe things can trend upwards.
Yeah, like for humanity.
Yeah. In now granted, you know, that vision might have been through, you know, like American soft power and not through like post scarcity Earth.
Sure.
But like even so, that optimism is obviously part of the DNA of this specific Star Trek. And like, you know,
1,000%. 1,000%.
And you can obviously see the reverse reflected in Enterprise, which is about how, what if we were attacked on our home soil?
Yeah.
In space. It's a very weird show. But again, I can't emphasize enough. Scott Bakula's the captain.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I'm willing to look past a lot of its flaws.
Fair enough. That's fair.
Leslie, do you think maybe we've talked about this single episode enough?
Yes. Yes, I do. I think that, I think we've touched on everything that I wanted to touch on.
Hell yeah. You have some favorite Star Trek that isn't this? I cannot imagine we're done talking about Star Trek this season. I'm sure someone's going to bring us something.
Absolutely. God, a favorite Star... Well, I mean, obviously, this is my favorite one. You know,
sure.
This is... But I will say also, the movie from the original... with the original series cast, the specific movie with the whale and Olivia Newton-John in it...
Oh, 5 or 6, right?
I think it might have been. See, that's the thing. That's all I really remember because I was a kid.
Star Trek: The Motion Picture, Wrath of Khan, Search for Spock.
It was after Search for Spock. Voyage Home.
Voyage
It was
Home
after Search for. Wait, was it? Was it Search for? It might have been Search for Spock. Hold on a second. Search for Spock. Voyage Home. Hold on. I think it was Voyage Home. Maybe.
Voyage Home has the whale.
Okay, that's it then. Voyage Home. All right. So Star Trek: The Voyage Home, like the film with the original cast, you know, that has the whale and Olivia Newton-John in it. That's a favorite of mine as well. Deep Space Nine, I have watched, like I said, a handful, not a ton, like more than 2. I did enjoy it. I've watched enough to be able to like enjoy like memes about Odo and stuff. So like, you know, I do enjoy Star Trek. It just feels like, again, the kind of this is the kind of media that's just always been there and will always be there and is just around whenever I want to watch it, because it is so ubiquitous at this point and so iconic.
Leslie, Olivia Newton-John is not in this movie.
She's not? Who am I thinking of that was with the whale? Why am I thinking about that? What's happening? Don't worry about it. It's fine.
I'm curious though. Catherine Hicks?
No, I think that I thought someone was Olivia Newton-John.
As Dr. Gillian Taylor, a cytologist on 20th Century Earth?
That's who I'm thinking of.
Not
sure why I thought.
That's
not sure why I thought. Not sure why I thought she was Olivia Newton-John,
Hey,
but
that's
again, I was very small when I watched it.
Totally. I just, obviously I was flipping through this. I'm like, and then I looked at 5 and 6 also. I'm like, I don't think so, boss.
Sorry. My bad. My bad.
No, that's all right. Role originally written for Eddie Murphy. Fun fact.
Interesting.
Those feel like no, I guess that's 1986. I was going to say those two feel like two very distinct eras, but no, I guess.
But if you look at Catherine Hicks, though, she looks like Olivia Newton-John.
No, she does. I could not agree more. It is Star Trek V, The Final Frontier, and Star Trek VI, The Undiscovered Country, by the way.
Got it.
Then Generations Insurrection, First Contact. I can do this. Nemesis. Then 2009 Star Trek with Chris Pine, Into Darkness.
Oh, right.
And then the last one, which was called like Beyond something.
Yeah. Good job.
Oh, Star Trek Beyond. Literally just called Star Trek Beyond.
Good job.
Thank you. And then the Section 31 or something movie that came out a couple years ago that people really did not care for because Star Trek took a weird turn recently.
Well,
they tried to make like an edgy Trek, and sorry, folks, that's not what it's about.
No.
Straight up.
I concur. Absolutely not.
Lower Decks is fun though. Lower Decks is a hoot.
Okay.
Lower Decks is just silly. I thought I was going to hate it because I thought it was just going to be Star Trek Rick and Morty. It is much better than that.
That's what I thought it was going to be, which, I mean, I guess doesn't necessarily turn me off to it because I have a confession to make. I actually enjoyed Rick and Morty.
I know. It's a confession you made in season 2 of the show.
Yeah, I actually like Rick and Morty. Or I did. I watched it.
Right. But
I
think you can acknowledge that the other shows that have tried to be Rick and Morty are worse.
Correct. They're not right. Yeah, Rick and Morty has such a specific formula that I really don't think anyone can replicate it successfully, frankly.
Much like plenty of the other shows that have attempted to be Bob's Burgers, but somewhere else have not been.
So just stop doing that, y'all. Like you can't just like lightning in a bottle.
So similarly, I saw Star Trek looking like that, and I saw like adult animated series, and I'm like, I don't know about that.
That's how I felt about it too.
That being said, it's fantastic.
Well, okay.
Anywho, that being said. Oh, you know what? I mean, I'll say it. I love Lower Decks. Lower Decks is a blast.
I'm going to watch it now.
Yeah. Oh, no, it's really fun. It's really fun. I grew up watching TOS reruns on like TV Land.
Yeah.
When Netflix streaming first started, Next Generation was on there alongside Twilight Zone, and I devoured it. It is...
Yeah.
There's not a lot of episode-to-episode continuity other than vaguely knowing, like, Pulaski's only there for one season.
Yeah.
Wesley Crusher comes back as an adult. That kind of stuff. But other than that, you don't really need to know where you are. A season 7 episode hits just as much as season 3.
Agreed. Once you've established the characters, it's like they are the archetype, and it's easy to watch. It's easy to watch any episode.
I just remembered this, actually. I did not start watching it on Netflix streaming in 2009. I started seeing it a little earlier because it would air, because it was syndicated, right? Folks, actually, if you don't know, by the way, that means Paramount TV Productions made the show and then just licensed it out to whoever wanted to syndicate it.
Yeah.
So new episodes of Star Trek would air anywhere. Typically the CW, though.
Yeah.
But it was syndicated on TBS for a minute when I was a kid. And so I was watching it on TBS fully out of order, and I think that was around the time that we either through TiVo or because Comcast finally developed DVR technology, I was just recording it made TV recording so much easier. And I was just recording at random episodes of Next Generation that they were just throwing up on TBS out of order.
Sure.
And being like, I guess I'm getting into this now at 14, 15 maybe?
Yeah.
Something like that. And I think one of the first episodes I saw was like straight up the end. Like, I think the one where Picard's got like the flute. It's called
the one that I made the meme for.
Sure.
Do you not know about that?
I don't think so, but you know what I mean, like times arrow, times path, or something like that.
Yeah. So my friend David asked me to play on my flute you know, to make a Rickroll out of that video.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
And I did it, and so there's a video that exists of Picard, and he has this little flute, but instead it's like it's like because I played it. Yeah, so it's pretty good.
Oh,
I'll
that's
find it
you?
and send it to you.
I've absolutely seen that. I didn't realize that you were involved with that.
Yes, that's me. That's my flute. I played it, and LeVar Burton has seen it. He's seen that. He's heard me play the flute. I just wanted to say that.
That rules.
Yeah.
Time Zero appears to be a season 5 episode that does involve some time travel. That's goes back in time to 1893 San Francisco one with Mark Twain. I'm thinking of the actual finale, which is, There we go, All Good Things, parts 1 and part 2.
All Good Things. Okay.
In which I believe the flute comes back. Or I don't think that's the origin of the flute. I'm not sure. But that's the one where he's like, he has a family vineyard and there's like tachyon particles in 3 time periods and stuff like that. It's nuts.
Okay.
But anyway, my Star Trek bona fides. I watched Enterprise a lot with my dad. Next Generation, obviously, I started recording on TiVo, that kind of stuff. I've barely seen any of the new stuff. I like Strange New Worlds, the couple episodes that I've seen. I didn't actually watch Discovery when it first launched, even though people were really having fun with that. Star Trek it means a lot. It's my vision of the future that obviously I've been wired to want.
Yeah.
It's all over meme culture, like how many single shots from specifically Next Generation, but also TOS are, memes. I mean, like Picard facepalm meme, but also like plenty of shots of Data like wiggling his eyebrows.
Right.
Commander Worf just being like, I am not Mary. Riker and his trombone, the backwards sitting, like stuff from TOS and Next Gen, like are foundational to meme culture.
1000%.
They're obviously foundational to fan culture with the Trekkies. It's just like, this really is so much. This is as much of our DNA as like, obviously people say that about like the 60s Marvel superheroes are.
Yeah.
Like, the 60s continued to have their cultural impact, obviously, in very aggressive ways.
That's really true. I've never thought about that.
Yeah, that so much of our culture is built around, like, I mean, we talked about the Twilight Zone, but like, yeah.
Yep.
Marvel and the X-Men and Star Trek and I Love Lucy and all that are like still here and still part of everything that we do.
Absolutely.
And I'm sure there are other examples that I can think of too. Anyway. Star Trek. I love Spock also.
Yeah. Who doesn't? Spock's amazing.
Yeah. Well, I think that's going to wrap up this particular episode of Syndicated with Lesley and Ben. Obviously, we had a ton to talk about. This is a show that is very important to the both of us.
Yeah.
Folks, my name is Ben. You can find me anywhere that matters as Sufficient Owls on the internet. You can check out all of our combined work over at infinitybreak.net, where we're telling stories our own way, where this show is hosted. And of course, you can support the show on patreon.com/infinitybreak. You can, of course, tell your friends about the show as well. We would greatly appreciate the help of word of mouth. We have an exciting season of science fiction television ahead of you, and we would love to share that with as many people as possible. Let's see, where can people find you?
Yeah, of course. Obviously, I'm the Lesley. You can find me at Vanetti. Online anywhere that matters. That's where you can find me. Come find me. Come say hi. I love to talk to you. Be my friend.
These conclude our staff picks for now, but obviously we'll be back with episodes with guests going forward in the future. The future, to talk about the future, one might even say. I know we'll be talking about some X-Files and some Star Wars later down the line, and I'm very excited to do both of those. So, we'll catch you next time on Syndicated with Lesley and Ben.
Next time, see ya.
Bye.